Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. Today I want to talk about a story that a whole lot of you sent me, and it's kind of a messed up story, so grab yourself a drink, although it does have a happy ending. So the story is I'm free, charges withdrawn against Collingwood man accused of killing two intruders. I'm not going to go through the whole article here with you. I'll link it below so that you can check it out for yourself. I'll give you sort of the basic rundown here. So this man was at home with his girlfriend. He's 57 years old, so he's not a super young man at this point. And people kick open his door. They break into his house, and there are three of them. One of them has a sawed-off shotgun. So not only is this individual outnumbered, but he's also outgunned. They zip tie him and his girlfriend and their dog, so everybody is all tied up. And then they proceed to ransack the house. They are looking for valuables, they're looking for drugs. The reason why they're looking for both drugs and valuables is that this man's son apparently occasionally deals marijuana, and so they were searching on that basis. Apparently, this guy didn't know at this point, but that's a heck of a way to find out. So the son comes home, and as a result, in the return home, there's a scuffle. The This individual gets a hold of the shotgun. The fight continues, and two of the three intruders end up getting killed. The third intruder decides that this is a good time to leave, and leaves out a second floor window, apparently. So two dead, third person is missing and in the weeds. Now, this guy does what probably most people would do and say, I've just had a harrowing, traumatic experience. I'm terrified. And so he calls the police for help. And the police show up, and I'm sure, assuming that he's going to get help. And the next thing that happens is he is arrested, and they start an investigation. I'm not sure sort of what he told the police in the course of that investigation, but the next day it seems like they charge him with two counts of second-degree murder. Now, those two counts of second-degree murder were later downgraded to two counts of manslaughter, and finally they've just been withdrawn. Now, this guy has had to hire two lawyers, and he indicates that they did a heck of a job. I'll quote him here. He says, I have the greatest lawyers. They worked hard for me, and the outcome is I'm free. I'm relieved. It was a long road. So props to those lawyers. It sounds like they did excellent work, and I will raise a glass to that. Now, people, nobody sent me this story going, hey, can you tell us the details in this story? I'm sure everybody can read. But people sent me this story going, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And this is something I've seen more than once, where you have people who are attacked in some sort of either a home invasion or some other sort of scenario, and they end up facing charges. And a lot of the time, I end up shaking my head. I've represented people on some of these files. Some of them you just see in the news. Ian Thompson is a famous case of this, where his house was attacked by people throwing fire bombs, and he killed nobody. He fired his gun apparently into the air, and they still charged him with basically everything they could think of, and he had to run through an expensive trial in order to ultimately get cleared. The the thing that I keep seeing on these is where you've got these situations where the initial story should, I think, be fairly clear, or at least, if you're trying to sort of look at this in the fashion of the old westerns in terms of who's wearing the white hat and who's wearing the black hat, you've got a clear black hat figure in a story like this. Notwithstanding the whole marijuana aspect, um, I don't put a huge amount. I mean, it's not a great thing to be doing, but at the same time, there's no indication from what I can see that this guy was involved in it. And he's in his own home. He is, and the indications are this wasn't his firearm. But even if it was, assuming he's got a firearms license or anything along those lines, why the rush to charge him right away? Like they lay these charges within, it looks like within a day. If not, if it was over a day, it's pretty close to within a day. And do they feel like they have to charge somebody? And do they feel like they have to charge somebody right away? Because the statute of limitations for second degree murder or for manslaughter is never. Those never expire. They can lay those charges the next day, the next month, the next year, the next century if somebody happens to live that long. What is the problem with sitting here and going, maybe we should investigate, because this appears to be a home invasion? I feel like as a society, sometimes we need to step back. And if you've seen the Mitchell and Webb skit, which I would love to include here, but copyright says no, that's a bad idea. But it's the Mitchell and Webb skit, Are We the Baddies? If you haven't seen it, have a look. It's online. It's hilarious. But, this sort of moment of self-reflection of like, which team are we picking here? Because at the point where our law enforcement and, are at the point where they're picking team home invader, I have a bit of a problem with that because at that point, essentially, they may be re-victimizing somebody who has already been the victim of a violent crime. When the police are wondering, well, why don't we have the faith of the public? Why don't we have the confidence of the public? I mean, the public can't even be sure that when they are the victim of a serious violent crime, that you're not going to come by and cause them worse and bigger problems. This guy, I'm sure, uh, I don't even want to put a dollar figure on it, but it's definitely going to be, at least 5 digits on this. He's, he's not made right at the end of the day. He's actually worse off for the police having attended. If the police hadn't attended and, uh, so this I think is a really big problem. Why can't we wait? Why can't we stall on some of these situations and say, we'll charge the guy later? You might want to bring the guy in and, see if he's willing to provide a statement. Pro tip, you do not if this is you. Keep the mouth shut. The mouth does not help you get out of trouble on something like this. But come on. So I'm really glad for this guy. I'm really happy for him. And you may have noticed I'm not using his name here. And one of the reasons for that is that one of the comments he makes about all of this is with respect to the early media coverage and how he's trying to get his reputation back. He's saying that, for anyone, he says, don't believe the other stories. It wasn't a pleasant experience at all. I'm glad for the outcome to be free finally. For anyone who thought different, here's the real story. Well, why does he say that? Well, because the initial accounts, even from the same news organizations, just basically say, oh, well, this guy's been charged. And of course, they give the guy's name with second degree murder, 2 counts. That kind of makes it sound like he is a bad guy. It makes it sound like he is some sort of, psycho. So he's then going to have to rebuild his reputation, notwithstanding the fact that by all accounts here, including what the Crown apparently said in deciding to withdraw the charges. And I'll commend the Crown for this, because the Crown doesn't have to say anything when they're withdrawing the charges. They can just say, Crown withdraws. Why? Because we do. They're not required to justify that decision. But the Crown chose to make statements which were reported in the news to the effect of, saying that this individual was acting in self-defense. The Crown also made some statements along the lines of, he said, the 2 men who lost their lives were both sons and fathers themselves. Their tragic deaths are devastating to those who love them. Nevertheless, there's no reasonable prospect for conviction. Both charges are withdrawn at the request of the Crown. I mean, it is always tragic when people die. including people who have gotten themselves involved in really bad stuff. I do criminal defense. I represent people who occasionally have done terrible things and may have just done something additional, that is terrible. But I've also represented people who, have changed. Sometimes you can help people get in touch with services, and you can help people kind of fix their lives in ways that prevent them from committing future offenses. Uh, I'm not a big believer that there's anybody who can't be redeemed, with maybe a few exceptions. It is tragic, but the tragedy here doesn't really fall on the homeowner. He's not the one who made the choices here. At every step, it sounds like his choices were forced. Uh, Other people kicked down his door. Other people brought the firearm to that party. At the point where he goes for the gun, what are his choices? Sit there zip tied and wait and hope it works out? I don't think so. I can tell you that having seen some other home invasion files, sometimes, once you're zip tied, they may use extreme violence against you if they think that there's not enough money nearby. If they think that, maybe they want to, force you to go to an ATM. We don't know how this goes. Sometimes, and admittedly, it's rare, homicides are rare, but not unknown. I mean, the home invasions themselves are rare. But sometimes, they decide, well, we want to make sure these guys can't testify against us and kill them off. You don't know what the likely outcome is. So I don't see that this guy had any choice at this point. Anyway, I do think this is tragic. I think it's very unfortunate that, it came to this. But the people who had the choices, the people who made the decisions, are the ones who kicked down the door and, decided to engage in the violence. So, yeah, once again, I am concerned whenever I think that society is essentially taking the wrong side. Uh, I think that the police and our justice system in general could regain a lot of the confidence that people have lost in it if, if they said, listen, we're holding off on charges because there may be this might be a good self-defense situation. You can always come back later and say, we were wrong. We did more investigation. This guy lured them there and then he shot them because he's a bad dude himself. And, this needs to be punished. But you don't need to drag him through two lawyers and so forth while you're figuring that out. Figure that out first, then ruin his life. Anyway, I hope you've had a glass here. I think it's a really sad story. There is no winner in this. And, notwithstanding the fact that this guy, may have saved the life and the physical safety of, for instance, his girlfriend, his son, he's going to be very badly damaged by this particular event. Anyway, thank you for watching. Lots of people said, I want your comments on this, so those are my comments. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like this video. Please share it with your friends. Subscribe to see more content. As noted, I'm going to link the article in the description below. I'll note that the article itself contains links as well to earlier versions of the story. I encourage you to go and look at the earlier versions of the story and ask yourself, what do I think of this guy when I go and initially, when I'm considering this. Also, I want you to stop and think, because a lot of people hear, this guy has killed 2 people and he's out on bail. Well, the news doesn't tell you the whole story. The initial accounts are very sparse. And so if you read just those initial accounts and you found out this guy's out on bail, which is apparently the case, you might be very upset to hear that somebody has killed 2 people and is out on bail. I'm not upset that this guy is out on bail. I think it would have been a further tragedy, and I really hope that he wasn't held in custody for any length of time. Anyway, Thank you for watching once again. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level: Sir Daniel Wicks of Alberta, Jason Elliott, D. Mo, Canada's National Firearms Association, North Central Process Service, Kyle Martin, Jean-Guy Toussaint, the Canadian Shooting Sports Association, and at the $30 level, Sights and Arms Limited. At the $20 level, Dale Nesbitt, Cameron Johnson, and Andrew Elsich. Thank you once again. I hope this has armed you with knowledge, and until next time.